I will say until I'm blue in the face that attachment style does not cause abuse. Abuse is rooted in our belief and value systems. So I'm going to speak on the differences between me and my ex because we were both anxiously attached, but he was abusive and I was not. I learned very early in life not to put my feelings on other people, mostly because they don't like it. Anytime I tried to share my anxieties or look for validation, I would be invalidated or dismissed, or they would run in the other direction. I learned men don't do feelings, save your feelings for your girlies. So I internalized all of my anxious tendencies. Despite hearing things like this and hearing healthy relationship and conflict advice, it didn't happen in real life. So I learned that my anxious tendencies were mine to deal with. When I would get anxious, I would internally spiral. I would send one text and then wait. And my stomach would be in knots and I would ruminate and obsessively check my phone. I felt like a sitting duck waiting for someone to decide whether or not I was worthy of a response. And I operated like this for years until one day I decided I don't like feeling this way. I don't like that my emotional well-being is dependent on somebody else behaving a certain way. So I started to set boundaries around my own behavior. Didn't like the feeling of being left on red? Fine, I'll turn off my read receipts. I don't like the feeling of sitting around and waiting for someone to text. Fine, I'll go for a walk and I'll leave my phone at home. Or I'll go see a friend and I'll turn my notifications off. So if I'm doing all of these things and managing my anxiety and it is still getting triggered, maybe the issue isn't me. Maybe it is them. Maybe they're not safe. Maybe I should give them less access to me. So while I internalized my anxiety and managed my own anxiety, my ex externalized his anxiety. He made his anxiety my responsibility to manage. He would send multiple texts. He would get angrier and angrier with each passing text. He would criticize my behavior. He would monitor my behavior, looking at it through the lens of his anxiety. I set personal boundaries to maintain my anxiety. He dictated how I needed to behave so he didn't experience anxiety. The difference between us was entitlement. He felt entitled to me managing his anxiety, whereas I didn't have that sense of entitlement. So while this is what I want a partner who is considerate of my shit. I am not entitled to it, and I can't force that from people because human beings are not tools to be used to placate anxiety. It has to be something that they naturally give. And someone not wanting to give that, not wanting to placate your anxiety, it doesn't make them abusive or harmful. It means they have emotional boundaries. The only way that you truly get over your anxiety is through self-love, self-validation, self-safety. When you learn to be your own best friend. Expecting someone to do that for you is rooted in entitlement and objectification, 2 of the 4 pillars of abuse.